In this section, I want to share with you some student success stories. Now, in our sessions and throughout the program, you might feel like there are a lot of challenges, and navigating the corporate world, there are a lot of challenges in general. But let's also talk about some success stories to also illustrate to you how all students in the program started exactly where you are, but going through the lessons and really improving their mindset and skill set, they are able to get results. So let's look at some success examples to motivate you and inspire you. Okay, so let's talk about student number 1. So this is about adapting in a new job in a new country. So this was actually a message that I got from my student, whom after 9 months, she sent me an update telling me that she had her performance appraisal recently and she got very positive feedback from all her stakeholders. And she was told that she's a good leader. She was able to manage cross-country teams. She's a kind person and responsible. And most importantly is that she learned to trust the process and stop self-sabotaging herself. So career level that you're looking at is managerial level, industry, actuary, and consulting, and the mindset block. And I want to hear if you are also experiencing the same. Imposter syndrome and overthinking, or whether the new job can even work out or not. Or you're also gonna, face problems or trauma from past jobs. So whether trauma from the sense of like you got fired, you were asked to leave, or maybe you were bullied, or the job was just not suitable for you. So traumatic experiences from past jobs can sometimes stop you from really giving it a full try in your current job. So that's just something to take note of. And the results for this student is a new career in a new country. So positive performance appraisal and feedback. And more importantly, the growth comes from a lot of confidence and a lot of happiness. So one of the things that I aim to teach you all in the Corporate Survivor is to make sure that you are growing or making choices in your career, not from a space of like desperation and anxiety, but it has to be really building up your mindset and skill set and very confidently able to handle your work or confidently approach new career opportunities. So I hope that these are some of the stories that you can also see yourself in some of these students' situation, maybe in the past, and potentially some of the successes that you can also visualize for yourself in the future. So let's move on to the next student. So student number 2 recently followed the Corporate Survivor course. She made changes to her LinkedIn profile and she got headhunted. So she's changing into a new industry with a 30% pay rise. So her profile, she is a manager in a pharmaceutical and healthcare industry. So one of the things that when she first joined the course, she told me that, MEI Phing, I'm in a very niche industry. I think it's impossible to change careers. And I'm not even sure if LinkedIn actually works. So it really depends on like which country that you are in. So in certain countries, LinkedIn is kind of seen as more of like a influencer platform. So for example, Malaysia, Pakistan is kind of like an influencer platform. So a lot of people actually don't believe that LinkedIn can work for job search. But in certain countries like Singapore or the UK, is actually a lot more mature in that sense. So the good news is that I think more and more people are realizing that, yeah, recruiters and HR, they spend a lot of time on LinkedIn. So you want to make sure that you are setting up your profile correctly and just follow the step-by-step in the course. Because these are things that I've done for 10 years. So hundreds of clients have already tried it. So just follow the process, just follow the lessons. And if you do it right and give it a bit of time, and you can get headhunted. So trust the process. So the results for this student is a career change in a completely different industry. She got salary increment, 30%. And more importantly, is growth with confidence and with happiness. So like I said, attracting new opportunities is always a lot better than hunting for it because you are in a completely different mindset, right? And it's a positive mindset at that. Okay, let's move on to the next student. All right, so this is the third student. So recently he attended multiple interviews. So it was a panel with 7 to 8 people and they were impressed. And he was able to get second round interview, actually at multiple jobs. And the latest update is that he got multiple job offers and eventually chose his dream job. So this is and executive level in the audit and accounting industry, and the typical mindset blocks. And if you know anyone in audit and accounting, lacking clarity on work goals and feeling stressed at work. Whether you're in audit or accounting, or you're just in a very intense and dynamic industry, you may feel the same. And also imposter syndrome by feeling like there are so many competitors with similar skills. So what makes me different? What makes me different? So the result is career change. So he actually managed to get into his dream industry, more clarity on managing workload. So that's even before applying for a new role. So really being able to handle his stress first. And ultimately, like I said, growth with confidence and with happiness. Okay, so let's move on to the last student. So this is an internal promotion to assistant manager role. So recently, this student's company had gone through a big restructuring and she's affected. However, she didn't get affected in a negative sense. She actually got impacted in a positive sense. So she's been following the 3-step framework for a while already. So overall, she's seen as someone who is very valuable to the company. So as a result of this restructuring, she actually got a promotion to the key account manager. So basically, it's a assistant manager position. So here's her profile. So she's a senior executive in an FMCG marketing role. Now, the problem with this student is that the fear of speaking up on achievement. So some of you may be very hardworking at what you do. And you may think that, it's okay. I think my boss will know that I want a promotion. I think my boss would know that I want new opportunities. It's not the same. It doesn't really happen that way. So if you're not asking for it and you're just waiting around for a promotion and you don't hint or you don't indicate that that's what you want to work towards, most of the time, then it just is down to an element of luck. And the element of luck is usually only 2%. So it's really learning how to plant the seeds to make sure that, yeah, even if there's a restructuring or, they are moving positions around, your name will come up first. Okay, so here are the results. So job promotion to assistant manager, and she's also identified as as part of the company's talent program. So therefore, what that means is that you will get priority promotion. So these are situations that in case of restructuring, it's very unlikely that the company will let go of talent. And if you want to kind of have a longer term career, it's good to be identified as someone who is actively contributing, and therefore the company will actually create a position to keep you in the team. And ultimately, of course, growth with a lot of confidence and happiness. Now, I just want to give you guys an update as well to student number 4. So right after getting that internal promotion due to restructuring, she was actually headhunted to join a global MNC with salary increment. So both of these actually happened almost back to back. So I've decided to put this story here. So this is kind of like part 2 of the student story. So aside from following the 3-step framework, one of the things that you learn in the corporate survivor, particularly in phase 3, getting visible personal branding, is that I always say that don't put all your eggs in one basket. And what that means is that you need to have a very strong LinkedIn profile. So that's how you attract opportunities. And this is exactly what happened to this student. I would say almost in like a back-to-back update. So she wasn't actually looking out, but she has been using the LinkedIn strategy that I teach, and she got headhunted and ultimately offered to join a global MNC. Then this is actually a household name. So if I say with an increment of 39% from her current role. And that was through 5 rounds of interview. So almost within a period of 1 week, senior executive to assistant manager, and now moving on to a bigger global brand. So the same imposter syndrome that you might feel as well, right? As a top performer, you might feel that, am I really good enough? Do you think a bigger company might want me? Or do you think my skills are good enough to apply for a bigger brand or a bigger company? So that could be a question that you have in mind. And the other question around, does the LinkedIn attraction strategy actually works, right? So if you go on LinkedIn, you'll find that a lot of people talk about, you need to go networking and you need to apply for so many jobs. Yeah, I mean, that's one part of it. But the other part is that if you set your profile correctly and you follow the very basic engagement strategy that I teach, then the attraction strategy will work. So this is the result within 7 days. So new job at a top company, and she was headhunted using the LinkedIn attraction strategy, and of course double growth, double confidence with double happiness. So this is just a few examples I wanted to share with you, and I hope that you can also reflect on what are some of the similarities that you can see in these student stories, whether it's similarity in the form of career level, or maybe industry, or maybe you are facing some of the similar mindset blocks or some of the questions that you have in your mind. Just know that that's just a part of the process that you can go through. But ultimately, it's about pushing through and really trusting the process to make sure that you get results. And the results may not be immediate within 7 days, but if you keep at it, then you will see the results. And that's why the 3-step framework is designed in this way. So get clear, get confident, and then get visible. So making sure that you are clear at your job. What's the value that you bring? Continue to build on your skills. And when you are ready, the opportunities will also find you.